Dante, and welcome to Adjusting Time. Oh my god! I botched. Sorry. Hi there, this is Dante, and welcome to the TNA Post Show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the one and only, and the star of the show, Burt Macklin.
It's okay. How's it going?
It's going good. Well, as we all know, today is the Go Home Show 2 final resolution being tomorrow. So we got quite a few things to talk about. As always, Bert and I will not be talking about Explosion because it continues to have one match. Until it goes back to a 2-match format, we will talk about Explosion. Alrighty, so tonight's TNA Impact kicked off with Moose. He opened the show, and I like the fact that he basically went out there and put over everybody except PCO. He left out PCO completely, but he put over Nick Nemeth being TNA World Champion. He put over Joe Hendry being the hottest act in pro wrestling. He put over the Hardys, calling him the most decorated tag team in pro wrestling. And he talked about how he wants to go down as the greatest X Division champion of all time. Like I mentioned, the one title he omitted from here was the digital media title and PCO here.
It's again, I always mention this is why we do the show together. I was thinking the same thing you're just thinking. I mentioned it in the group chat that I'm in. Yeah, it's like heel 101. He like put everyone over while simultaneously burying them a little bit and putting himself over. So like that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And yeah, I really like this, and I really like how in not so many few words, and like he doesn't have to say it. I think it's kind of clear he's not gonna use option C. I think he's trying to have a really long, like, historic X Division run. So good for him. This just adds to his legacy in TNA. So I like this.
Yeah, I liked it too. And like I said, like I've mentioned before, Leon Slater should be the one to dethrone Moose. We have until September 20th, I think, of next year for that to happen. So we still got a ways to go. But anywho, Diener, of all people, interrupts because Moose starts calling the crowd imbeciles, idiots. He says that they're stupid people because he doesn't need to respect their support. And basically, like, Moose brings up the fact that that ever since Diener started listening to the people, he hasn't won a match. It is true, and I've mentioned this before. You even talked about it. I felt like the people's choice was going to turn him heel because the people keep getting him into these situations that are just not good. Like they got him in a 2-on-1 handicap match against the Grizzled Young Vets. Moose brings it up that he hasn't won. And so I did think it was going to lead to a heel turn. I guess I was wrong about that. But anywho, this leads into an impromptu match for the X Division title. Like Moose, I was like surprised that Moose actually granted Diener a match because, normally heels don't do that. And Moose was the one who grabbed him this match. And again, like, I don't want to say Moose made quick work of Diener, but he didn't even break a sweat. Like, he didn't take his jacket off until halfway through the match. And this was a very short match. Moose was victorious, no surprise there, when he hit the spear. But yeah, what would you think of this impromptu match and on Diener stepping up to Moose and Moose giving him a title opportunity?
I wasn't a fan of the promo, and so I was hoping that Moose was gonna smash him. But like, I was surprised how competitive and how pretty good this match was, and the crowd seemed to get behind it. So I can't complain about that. But yeah, no, this was fine. Of course, Moose won. So
yeah, no surprise. This was a warm up for Moose. This was nothing.
Yeah.
So next we get a First Class and Tasha Steelz interview. I have to say, Tasha Steelz, in my opinion, fits in very nicely with First Class.
Friend of the show in the group chat when I was watching it, Io, shout out to Io, said the same thing, and I completely agree with him as well. And obviously, we'll talk about it. They showed a lot of chemistry during the match, so yeah, and we'll talk about that. But yes. Completely agree with you on that, and him as well.
So they're basically each of them, AJ, Francis, Tasha Steelz, and Casey Navarro, basically talking about their match tonight with Steelz mentioning that she's gonna, show Masha what she's gonna do. AJ talking about what he's gonna do to Nick Nemeth, and AJ Francis and Casey Navarro say what you want, but they complimented Gia Miller on how she looked.
Damn it, Quincy! You're taking my lines. But it's okay. No, it's okay. I was gonna say they're heels, but yet they complimented Gia, so I thought that was very nice.
It was nice.
And yeah, in the promo too, I thought they played really well off of each other as well. It felt very natural.
Joseph says, if First Class wanted to add a female, Tasha is it. I agree. She fits like a glove with First Class. Right? She does.
Yes.
All right. Next, we get a Mike Santana segment, and he's talking about, final resolution. However, he doesn't get a chance to say much because he gets interrupted by the Northern Armory. And, this pisses off Santana. And apparently, Josh Alexander and Mike Santana have history because Josh tells Santana that the first time Santana was in TNA, he sent him packing.
Josh sent Santana packing. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not catch that. I love this whole segment. Santana continues to just kind of, for me, he's the one person I want to see, the number one guy I want to see win the world title. That's a different story. But I know I'm not trying to, I know this comparison could make people mad just because, one is a legend and one his career's not over. But Josh Alexander's promos as a heel remind me of Bret Hart's as a heel in terms of how a lot of people might have said Bret Hart's promos as a babyface sucked, and that's debatable. And people said his promos as a heel were just miles better. And I love him as a heel. I think he was better as a heel. But to me, that's the same as Josh. Josh as a heel is way better as Josh as a babyface. This promo was awesome. And Sinner and Saint showing a lot of personality now as well. They added a little bit. Yeah, this was great.
I agree. This was great. One of the things I like is that Josh Alexander brings up the fact that Mike Santana took down the system, but he was like, I could have done that too. And, Josh beat Moose already.
Yeah.
I think that Mike Santana, on his way to becoming TNA World Champion, has to defeat Josh Alexander. Now, Josh Alexander, we mentioned it last week. He revealed his contract expires February 15th, so I could definitely see a one-on-one match happening between them sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so I think we'll talk the predictions later because now I don't know what to think about that match. But yes, I agree with you. I think we will get a singles match ultimately between them.
Yeah, I think we are. All right, so Xia Brookside versus Rosemary. Rosemary has been on a roll as of late. As you know, she set her sights on Jordynne Grace. I thought this was a good match. Rosemary did emerge victorious, and she attacked Xia Brookside afterwards, and Jordynne Grace came to her defense. And as we learned, it's going to be Rosemary versus Jordynne Grace at Final Resolution. We'll get more into that in predictions, but what were your thoughts on this match?
This was fine, yeah. Of course, Rosemary is going to win. She has a match tomorrow, and that's if anyone had, or if at first I was a little upset that Xia lost just because I'm hoping they're going to push her eventually, but then I had to catch myself and realize, no shit, Rosemary has a match tomorrow, so of course she was going to win. She wasn't going to lose, so yeah, this was fine.
Norris is good technical wrestling from Xia. I agree.
Yeah.
So we get a Trent 7 interview, and he's basically informed that he has to face Ace Austin. Now, I have to say, Trent 7 does not react very happy to this news because he's talking about how he beat the Hardys in North Carolina, and Ace Austin confronts Trent 7 and basically says that what he did to Speedball Mike Bailey is disgusting because he would do anything to have Chris Bay by his side, and that at Final Resolution, Trent 7 will learn his ABCs. So I thought this was a really good segment between them.
First of all, I like Trent 7. doing another heel tactic. He had the turtleneck on. Christian, I think Christian brought that back, and I think all heels need to wear that. It looks very sinister, very evil. I like this as well. I think the promos so far on this show have been top notch, and this was another good segment.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so next we get the tag team matches: Leon Slater and Laredo Kid versus the Rascalz. Smoke them if you got them. Like I always say, unfortunately, I don't got them.
This goddamn match was so good.
This was my favorite match of the entire night. Honestly, Leon Slater and Laredo Kid, their styles are equally I don't want to say equally, but they balance. They're like the perfect combination. I think they make a great tag team. This is what, like, their second match teaming together. They made a great tag team. But this match was great. I really like this match. The Rascalz won here. And I definitely wouldn't mind seeing more of Leon Slater and Laredo Kid teaming together in the meantime while they stall for Leon Slater to defeat Moose.
Yeah, I love this match. This was so good. And I don't know what I thought. I don't know if what Tom Hannafan called it, or if he was just making like a joke or something. But whatever the finisher the Rascalz hit, that was so cool. I love that combo. This just overall this match. And yeah, if Laredo Kid and Leon Slater were a team for now, I wouldn't mind that at all.
I wouldn't mind that either. I think their styles are a perfect balance. I think it's called Tsu Kick. I think that's what it was called. Their finisher. Okay. I have to go back and check. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
So we get a typical system promo, and they're each talking about their respective matches. The Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, of course, bring up the Hardys and their tables match. JDC making my back hurt by talking about how he's been wrestling longer than Leon Slater has been alive. I feel the crack right there.
JDC is so funny, and he continues to be. I don't know. At first, I was like, him with the system, really? But then now I'm like, okay, this is awesome, him being a part of it. It makes total sense. And I like how they keep like getting more they keep getting more things to show off. And like, since they've gotten the rings, like every promo they have to show them off. Like, I don't know, it's just they're such a cohesive unit, and like all they give a shit is about themselves and their own accomplishments. Total heels. It's great.
That's one of my favorite part of the system. That's why I trust the system. I mean, wasn't Tom Hannafan Hannafan making fun of those rings, saying that they were cubic zirconium?
Yeah, and again, I'm with Ray. I don't know who told him that, or who is. I don't know if what jeweler does he know?
Does he even wear jewelry? I doubt it.
Yeah.
All right. We get Jake Something and Hammerstone versus the newly formed the team of PCO and Sami Callihan. I have to say, like, the finish surprised me here. Sami Callihan and PCO won by DQ, but I feel like they did so to protect Hammerstone and Jake Something. You don't want them to lose, as they are on the rise up the ranks in the tag teams. And PCO and Sami Callihan are still too new of a tag team to take a loss, so I feel like the finish made sense here.
Yeah. Yeah, completely fine with it. And real quick on Sami Callihan and PCO, since it seems to be a thing, especially since, and we'll talk about it again, they have a match tomorrow. Since, if people didn't know, PCO happens to also be the digital media champion, which seems to be an afterthought. If I'd rather see PCO and Sami Callihan as a team, a tag team, just because that seems to be, I don't know. I think they're a gimmick. There could be synergy there, gimmick wise. But yeah, every time I see PCO in a tag team match, because I think this is the second time that they've tagged together, I just, and I'm not going to look up right now when the last time he had a title match was, but it's like, come on. I know that's not what the segment's about, but they just need to do something with that belt. Damn it.
You know, I'm really glad you brought that up because I always forget PCO is digital media champion. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I've ranted so much about that digital media title and about Explosion that like my voice like is I'm gonna lose my voice eventually if I keep
It's
ranting
not
about the digital media title.
and even if they like are dead set on only doing one match and give it up on Explosion as being whatever, then fine. Then they need to have the digital media championship defended on TV and pay-per-views more. Because yeah, I don't know when the last time you defended that title. I
Okay.
can't. Maybe it was against Cardona.
I
Like
think so. I think it was against Cardona.
okay, but yeah, like just I think, and some and I'm hoping that just like with Ash putting her in a tag team when she shouldn't have been a singles right. PCO shouldn't be in being a singles champion right now. Him and Sami, that's the perfect role for them.
I'm gonna say this. If Explosion is gonna continue being a one match show, you could put PCO on there every week, defending the title. You got 2 matches. That way you get 2 matches. I don't mind necessarily Sami Callihan and PCO being a tag team. What I do mind is them being a tag team while PCO is digital media champion. If they're going to be a tag team, you should take the digital media title off of PCO and give it to someone that's actually going to do something with it. Like I don't remember the last time we had a dot combat match. I actually like those matches because they're actually pretty fun. You know, I think it was Moose and Joe Hendry that had the last one, but we haven't had one in a while. Like they could do so much more with the digital media title. If you're not gonna use it, just get rid of it. You know?
Yeah, and yeah, I can. And did they even mention him as champion when he came out?
I think they do mention him as champion.
Okay. Yeah, so at least they acknowledged it. But I completely agree. If only they had the 30-day rule where you had to defend the title every 30 days.
Wait,
Because he
well,
should have.
go ahead.
I don't know if it's been 30 days, but if only.
Wait, hold the phone. Didn't Alicia Edwards have to find a replacement? Others risk getting stripped of her titles. Why the hell can
Yeah.
PCO?
If anything, maybe that could be a storyline where yeah, put it on JDC or yeah, put it on one of the members of the system and have that be a thing. Because yeah, I think it's been longer than 30 days. And you're right. And Alicia should come out and say something.
Yeah, wasn't there a match at Monsters Ball? Yeah, it was a Monsters Ball match at Bound for Glory. So yeah, it's been more than 30 days.
It's a travesty.
Yeah, I agree. So at the end of this match, once again we got the number 23 unit plane. What that means, we don't know. And we can only speculate. Is it someone tied to PCO? Someone tied to Sami Callihan? Is it someone brand new, complete that we've never seen before? Are we gonna see this person debut on the first live TNA of the 2025? I would be disappointed if it's someone we've seen before, maybe like Khan or something, like you know.
Because the 23rd is the day of the live show, right?
Yeah, the 23rd. I feel like that's what that's playing to, but maybe it's somebody new. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's so
I
many
can't think of.
speculations here.
Sorry, yeah, I was just gonna say I can't think of a number that because wasn't like for example, wasn't 13 associated with Taz back in the day. I can't think of what number 23, what wrestler 23 would be associated with. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, 20 the number date is the best. You know what I mean? That's the best guess as for now.
All right. We get Dani Luna versus Heather by Elegance. This match was good. Dani Luna won, and now both teams are tied 2-2. I feel like the match for the knockouts tag titles is gonna happen at Genesis.
Yeah, and while I would complain that because I'm not going to say anything more after this, while I would complain that they're just trading singles with, I actually kind of like that they've done this time. because before they would just do like one match, and the team, usually the team that didn't have the titles would lose, and obviously in a singles match. But I like how they've traded wins in kind of a series this time, so at least it's something. But people know how I feel about this. They need a division, but I'm not going to say anything more.
Something.
Yeah.
Alright. So the main event was a 6-person tag match. It was Tasha Steelz in First Class versus Hendry, Masha, Slamovich, and Nemeth. I honestly feel like this was a fun match. I really like the interaction between Masha, Slamovich, and Casey Navarro here. I thought that was pretty cool.
There's a lot of things that stood out to me in this match. One was the way Masha running the ropes was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was, I think she was probably the best out there. Just overall in the match, just like quality wise in the match. And then yeah, she even went up against AJ Francis a little bit, which was very impressive. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just thought that they made AJ Francis just look like a monster heel, including also what happened at the end. So like they should have, just because going to the match tomorrow and tonight was a go home show. It was a 2-week build. But my favorite part about this match was the whole match, all Hannafin kept doing was complaining about how AJ Francis got this match. And it just reminded me, and Ray Walt kept saying, well, like he asked for it, or like, he got it reasonably. And I kept thinking about like, what is this reminding me of? And for people who watch NXT, Eddie Thorpe last week, while like a melee was happening, like fake getting taken out. And then this week, he like talks his way into a world title match, also while revealing that he faked the injury. And it's just like, to me, and I think if I get the quote, why I think you remember him, I think what if I remember him saying was, I got a match all while having not to like wrestle like a bunch of other people. And I thought the same thing. AJ Francis didn't have to do anything. He just had to ask for the match, working harder, not smarter. Nick Nemeth said he could have it. So I don't know why Hannafin was complaining.
Right.
Let me just say, even if AJ's not going to win, they made him look like he could win. Like, to me, obviously he's the biggest guy out there. That's not like, that shouldn't matter. But he looked like a world champion. You know what I mean? They really built him as something.
I have to say, it's no secret that I was not the biggest fan of AJ Francis when he first came to TNA. But he won me over with his work, his character, and even in spite of what, I know that there was a lot of discourse on Twitter over this match, but in spite of that, honestly think this is gonna be a pretty good match between them. It's definitely gonna be AJ's redemption, and and I think this is his chance to prove that he belongs in the main event, and I think he's gonna rise to the occasion.
The more I watch him, the more I think WWE fumbled him, not the other way around. Yeah. And that's just simply because if you watch the way this match was booked, and it's not going to be every match, but there's definitely going to be matches where he's going to look like the bigger guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone's just going to remember him just trying to do that dive, I believe it was, you know what I mean, where he got the name. And so, but yeah, at the end of the match just ends with him a giant spear, and then him giving Nick Nemeth like 3 giant basically choke slams. So it's like that's how they should have having him work the whole time. And if people can complain that, oh, whatever, like why is he getting this match? At least they like build him as someone, and even before this, even including and especially tonight, he looks like someone who could win, who should win. Like how, to me, if I'm watching like wrestling as a kid, I'm thinking to myself, I'm putting myself back to when I was watching as a kid. How is Nick Nemeth going to beat him? You know what I mean? I don't see how he could beat him. Look at him. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. And especially now, like we've all watched wrestling for so long, we know how it works. Why would people complain when they know he's not going to win? You know what I mean? I don't understand people. It's not about that. I don't get it.
Well said, Bert. I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so I guess that's it for the go home show. Overall, I thought this was a really great go home show. I think TNA probably does one of the best go home shows, in my opinion. The go home show does what it's supposed to do: sell you the pay per view. So I had no problem with this. This was great. All right, now we're gonna do final resolution predictions.
I have the matches.
Okay. You do, you don't?
I do. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna start with the pre-show countdown to final. It's opening with Frankie Kazarian, the Call Your Shot winner, versus Jonathan Gresham. I think this is obvious. I think Kazarian wins.
Yeah, Kazarian does win. Oh, hold on. I didn't see some of these comments. Sorry.
So
let's see. They haven't done nothing with that belt since PCO's wife went down with her neck injury. Macardona side with Ring of Honor. Side note, I wish TNA would do a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening sessions in Atlanta. That way they could do 4 to 5 weeks of television and blend in the best of match every episode. Weeks of best or hidden gem episodes. And Bert, it says we're preaching to the choir. It's like they forgot that knockouts could go after the Digital Media Championship too. Right? And it's funny because Jordan Grace was the inaugural Digital Media Champion. They told me to preach. All right, anytime. I think Bound for Glory was the last offensive Digital Media Championship because September was to have been PCO and Rhino versus Steph and Matt, but Steph had her neck issues. See, it has been 30 days. Another point, why have 10 matches for Final Resolution and have 7 matches for the countdown? Have 7 matches, 1 countdown, and 6 main shows and push the other 3 matches until Saturday 18th, which is my opinion. Yeah, I want to debut. Oh, this is stupid. I wanted to be Baron Corbin. That's my guess. But because this person or group is going after PCO. Appreciate you two for providing critical informative analysis real time. Oh, of course. Anytime. Eddie Dope finished NXT. Now AJ Francis finished TNA. I'll admit, they did a great job 2 weeks justifying why Nick is defending versus AJ Francis. I wasn't a fan at first, but I'm sure Nick will get a great main event out of AJ. I agree. And we just need to see how they win the old this weekend in pay-per-view. Yeah, Frankie wins this. Yeah, they will have a bunch, including during to win Nikki G win her final title. I was there live. Win amazing. Okay. I have to agree with you. Cass is winning.
Yeah. Next we have JDC versus Leon Slater. You go first.
Well, I'm surprised that JDC is even allowed to still be in the system after he's the reason Moose has to defend the exhibition title against Kushida. So
I think they forgot about that, so I hope they don't watch this show and then that causes a rift because that's not fair. I thought they'd move past that.
Honestly, I gotta go with Leon Slater. I think this is gonna be the slow rise of Leon Slater to the exhibition title. I think he beats JDC.
Same. I think that's why JDC was kind of added to the system. He's going to be the guy that loses more often than the other 3. Well, the other 4. Okay, next we have a 6-man tag. The Rascalz versus PCO and Sami Callihan. Another tag match on a pay-per-view with the Digital Media Champion versus Hammer something. I think the Rascalz should win this just because I think with what's happened in TNA recently, I think they should be the ones kind of the next tag team that's kind of gets the next big run to be the next champions, the ones to beat the Hardys eventually. So I think the Rascalz take this.
It's a triple threat. I'll say PCO and Sami win to continue this season 23. I could see that. Looks like the Rascalz are turning heel. They were already heels. And you know, I like them as a heel tag team, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said earlier, I don't mind Sami, Callihan, and PCO being a tag team here. I don't. I have no problem with them being a tag team. But if they're going to be a tag team, you need to take that digital media title off of PCO. It's been more than 30. If Alicia Edwards nearly got stripped of her title, PCO should get stripped of his title.
I don't know. I don't think they should turn heel just because most of the tag teams are heel. The system, the good hands, hammer something. Like I really can't think of, with ABC out, I really can't think of a babyface tag team.
Here's the thing though with this one. It's like, okay, we don't know yet if the 23 is tied to PCO and Sami Callihan. We're just speculating that it is. So it would be definitely interesting to see how it plays out if they don't win. Like, are we still gonna get a tease or not? So I'm personally gonna go with Hammer something, just because I feel like they're the meat team. They're the meat in this match, and I feel like meat needs to win.
Okay. Okay.
All right, what's next?
That's a good. I think that's possible just because before I said they should be the next big team as well. You know what I mean? So them winning, and because I don't think they have gotten really a big win yet as a team. So yeah. Next we have Ace Austin versus Trent Seven.
I see Trent 7. I think he's gonna be a dirty finish. I think he's gonna do to Ace Austin what he did to Mike Bailey. I think he's gonna give him a low blow, and he's gonna win this match.
I don't mind that just because Ace Austin is still young enough, and you know what I mean. It's not like what a loss right now. Oh, he's buried. So yeah, I think Trent Seven's someone they should push now, just because he's a little bit older. So yeah, I think Trent Seven wins here, and I think he wins exactly how you said that.
Thank you.
Next we have Rosemary versus Jordynne Grace.
Rosemary. Jordynne Grace is gonna put people over on her way out.
Yeah. I just don't think Jordan's going to lose every match. But okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Rosemary wins because I think Rosemary I think Rosemary's going to get the shot at Jen. Well, I think they need to have a bigger match at Genesis for Masha than Masha versus Rosemary. That's just my opinion. Nothing against Rosemary, so I think Jordynne wins.
Joseph says Rosemary wins. This could be it for Jordan and TNA. Yeah, Trent wins. With her contract expiring towards the end of January and TNA Genesis being in her home state of Texas, I could see her doing one last match in on TNA Genesis. I don't think this is the end for Jordynne Grace yet, but I think we're winding down. That's for sure.
Because obviously, I don't think that'll be a title. Well, because I'm not saying that's going to be a title match for Jordynne either at Genesis, but I think Jordynne will definitely, because I think that probably will be her last match. She should win that match.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. Yeah, no, I think she wins tomorrow.
Okay. What's the next match?
Next we have the number one contender match. It's Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, Santana versus Steve Macklin. Yes, please go first. I don't even.
Ooh, okay, Josh is not winning. I don't think he's winning. Mike Santana, I don't think he's winning either because I see him winning at the UBS Arena in his home state of New York. So it's a toss-up between Joe Hendry and Steve Maclin. Nick Nemeth has yet to turn heel. And I think, at least I think, that they're going to use the Genesis. If he does not turn heel at Final Resolution, I think that Nick Nemeth will turn heel at TNA Genesis. So my pick is Joe Hendry. Because I feel like a heel Nick Nemeth will screw Joe Hendry out of another title win until like he finally wins at Rebellion.
And so wait, who's your pick?
Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I actually agree with that just because I think at some point Josh Alexander and Steve Maclin, something's gonna happen where they're gonna be like go to the back like a feud. You know what I mean? They're gonna start brawling and it's gonna end outside of the ring, and it's gonna leave Santana and Joe Hendry in the ring by themselves. And I just think because Santana's gonna win, but not yet. I do agree with you. I think Joe Hendry does win this.
Yeah, I think that now that we know that Slammiversary is in the UBS Arena in New York, Santana's from New York, I think it's a safe bet to assume that Mike Santana's probably winning in his home state of New York.
Yes. And yeah, like I think, I just think when now we know Josh's contract situation, I think Joe Hendry, I think he's definitely going to win. And we, we think Nick Nemeth's going to turn heel. So Joe Hendry's winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next we have the X Division title. It is Moose taking on Kushida.
I think this is easy to call. Moose.
Yeah, this is like what I was talking about earlier. Like, you need a viable book contender, but you kind of know where they're going with this match. Just in terms, I don't think Moose is dropping the title yet. So yeah, Moose.
Definitely. I think it's going to be an interesting clash of styles, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, and that's why I think I want Moose to have a long reign and go through these people that are gonna be you know what I mean? I want these matches to be different every time.
Yeah, like he had to slow Laredo Kid down because Laredo Kid was too fast for him. He's gonna have to target Kushida's arm, otherwise he's gonna get risked getting put in a hoverboard lock.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be interesting because she's gonna go after that arm the whole time. So yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next we have the.
Hold on. Joseph says Moose is retaining. Will need Alicia's help. Kushida will be a hard opponent. He agrees with you. Moose needs to have a good reign.
Next we have the World Tag Team title match. The Hardys versus the System. I believe it's the tables match. I believe, right?
Yeah.
Hardys. Be pretty simple. It's not time yet.
Yeah.
Next we have the women's world title match. It is Masha Slamovich versus Tasha Steelz.
I say Masha Slamovich.
Yes, but this needs to be. I think this match needs to have a lot of time. I'm saying like 18 plus minutes, just because while Masha needs to win, Tasha needs to reestablish herself as like a big time contender that we know she is. So you know what I mean? She kind of needs to reestablish herself as someone to be taken seriously in that division.
Yeah, I agree. Says table match. Hardy Boys retain. Masha retains.
Mm-hmm. Finally, we have the world title match. Nick Nemeth versus AJ Francis.
Nick Nemeth is retaining. That's what I think. I think he's retaining here. Because I just feel like like I said earlier, if they're gonna turn him heel, he might as well turn heel during this match. Because how is he gonna beat AJ Francis?
Damn it! I never thought of it like that. But yes, because look at the way they ended the match tonight. And real quick, personally, I want AJ Francis to win, but I know what. Yes, what you just said, because he's gonna need all. There, I think they need to book this match similar tonight, and so Nick Nemeth is gonna need JBL's help. So he's gonna have to turn heel, and so we finally get that JBL appearance where he explains why he's doing this to set up the match that we're talking about with Joe Hendry versus him at Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I really hope that happens.
Same. I would be surprised if they still don't turn Nick Nemeth heel. If they don't turn Nick Nemeth heel here, I think that's because they're gonna do so when he faces Joe Hendry at TNA Genesis. But I think that this would be a perfect opportunity for Nick Nemeth to turn heel.
The only thing that would make Joe Hendry, who's so over as the babyface, winning the world title is if it's against a strong heel. So let's turn Nick Nemeth heel, even though really turning heel against AJ Francis, you know what I mean? Because AJ Francis is a heel, you know what I mean? So it's not like I don't see them working in this match to where AJ Francis somehow turns face, but you know, definitely, we need to finally get the answers because it's been like long. JBL's helped them like what 2 or 3 times now, probably even 4. It's and then he's like got involved in other matches. I think he hit his brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's time to start building up the match. You know what I mean? Building up the big match.
Joseph says, I agree. Nick retains. Did they tease Frankie catching in his contract too soon? I could see them teasing it. I could see him trying, but JBL stopping him again. So I don't know. We'll see.
Can you do that?
What?
Can you cash in that? Is it like similar to Money in the Bank? Can you cash it in?
Yeah, you can cash it whenever.
Okay. I thought you had what?
Where have you been under a rock?
No, I thought you had to like call. I thought you had to call the match out. Like call your shot. You know what I mean? So
well,
okay.
it's called call your shot, but you basically cashing in your chance to to call your shot.
Yeah. So I think we get the heel turn hopefully. Mm-hmm. So and to that person because Arian's winning in April in his home city of Los Angeles. So he'll beat Joe Hendry that night.
Whether it's a clean finish or not, I do agree. I think Nick Nemeth will probably. I mean, Frankie Kazarian will probably be the one to see the title.
Give him a short. He deserves a short reign with the title. He's earned it.
Yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow should be a good show. This card's stacked for a 2-week build or whatever, how long it's been.
Yeah, honestly, I have to say they did a really good job. I just mentioned using these last 2 weeks to stack this card. I mean, it's a great show.
It was a very good show, I think.
I agree. All right, bro. You got any last final remarks? And where can people find you on social media?
Just on Twitter at BurtMacklin11.
You can follow me at @I talk Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, and of course TNA Impact. I go live on my YouTube channel, Rangers of Wrestling, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. And then for all things TNA, you can check us out here every Thursday. And with that being said, well, actually, before we sign off, we don't know if there's a new episode on the 19th. I think there is. So with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever we go live or whenever Body Slam goes live. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Final Resolution. Bye.